I'm Emily Harper, 33, from Raleigh, North Carolina, where the air carries the scent of dogwood and fresh-cut grass. At a Sunday family dinner, my mother's voice sliced through the clatter of plates. "Get out and don't come back." For once, I listened. What she didn't know was that I'd been quietly paying their $2,500 mortgage for 4 years, saving their sprawling suburban home from foreclosure. When my father called weeks later, his voice trembling over a bank notice, the shock in his silence was a memory I'd hold forever. That moment sparked a journey from pain to power, rooted in a secret I'd kept even from them, a floral shop inherited from my grandmother, blooming with my future. Growing up in a red brick colonial in Raleigh's Oakwood neighborhood, life seemed idyllic. Our backyard buzzed with fireflies, the kitchen warm with the smell of Mom's pecan pie. My father, Thomas, a logistics manager for a trucking firm, filled our home with laughter, his calloused hands tossing me in the air as a kid. My mother, Lorraine, a former event planner turned homemaker, ruled the house with precision, her rose garden her pride. My older brother, Nathan, 37, and sister, Claire, 35, were the golden siblings, their trophies lining the mantel, while I, the youngest, navigated Mom's sharp critiques. At 12, my A- in math earned a sigh. Claire never settled for less than perfect. My clothes, my friends, my dreams, nothing escaped her scrutiny. "Those boots look cheap, Emily," she'd say, adjusting her pearls. Dad would wink, whispering, "You're enough." But his silence during her storms left me aching. High school was my escape. I loved numbers, how they told stories of stability. My guidance counselor, Mrs. Tate, saw my spark. "Finance suits you, Emily," she said, her office smelling of lavender. I'd sketch floral arrangements in my notebook, inspired by Grandma Rose's shop, Petals by Rose, where I'd spent summers arranging daisies, their earthy scent grounding me. When Grandma passed at 16, she left me the shop, a secret I kept, renting it out for $12,000 a year, my safety net. Mom wanted me to study teaching, suitable for a woman, but I applied to NC State's finance program, defying her. "You'll struggle in that man's world," she scoffed. I worked weekends at a cafe, the clink of mugs my rhythm, to fund tuition, graduating with honors at 22. Mom's response? Claire got into Duke. I landed a job at Triangle Wealth Management, climbing to senior advisor by 29. Clients loved my knack for simplifying investments. My office, with its cedar desk and potted fern, felt like a haven. But at home, Mom dismissed my career. "Emily plays with numbers." 4 years ago, Dad's firm downsized, slashing his salary. At 60, he scrambled for contract work, his pride bruised. Mom refused to cut back, no selling her BMW, no job. "What would the neighbors think?" she'd snap. I found out during a visit, spotting Dad hunched over bills, the kitchen dim with worry. "We're 6 months behind," he admitted, voice cracking. Without telling them, I set up automatic $2,500 mortgage payments from my account. It was half my take-home pay, but I lived simply. Small apartment, used car, no vacations. I couldn't let them lose the house where we'd carved pumpkins, where Dad taught me to dance. I should have seen the signs. Mom's new designer bags, Dad's vague consulting gigs covering expenses, their arguments sharper. The house, a 5-bedroom with gleaming hardwood and a chandelier Mom bragged about, was a facade. My old room, still sage green with my debate medals, felt like a museum of unmet expectations. I visited twice a month, each drive tightening my chest. Mom's jabs grew crueler. When I brought her favorite lemon bars, she grimaced. "Too sweet, Emily. Did you even measure?" Dad drank more, his bourbon bottle emptying faster. He'd retreat to the garage during her rants, leaving me to absorb them. I tried to connect, gifting Mom a silk scarf, taking her to brunch at the Garden Bistro, its patio fragrant with jasmine. "This place is overrated," she'd complain, picking at her salad. Nothing worked. "Why are you sucking up?" she'd ask, as if my love was a ploy. My best friend Rachel saw the toll. Over coffee at my apartment, the scent of vanilla creamer soft, I confessed about the mortgage. "Emily, you're enabling them," she said, her eyes kind but firm. "You're 33, killing it at work, and they're draining you." I protested. "They're my parents. I can't let them fail." "They're choosing to fail," she countered. "Your mom won't work, they won't downsize, and you're sacrificing your future." Guilt gnawed. Our church preached honoring parents, and Raleigh's tight-knit community judged selfish kids harshly. But panic attacks hit before visits, my breath short, heart racing. My therapist, Dr. Patel, urged less contact. "You're not their savior," he said. I couldn't stop yet, not when Mom's bitterness seemed to grow with my success. "When'll you marry, Emily? Jobs don't keep you warm," she'd say, ignoring her own loveless marriage. 2 weeks before the breaking point, I overheard Mom in their study during a surprise visit, arms heavy with takeout from Bella's kitchen. "Emily thinks she's better than us with her big job," she sneered to Dad. "Always flaunting." Dad's tired voice. "She's just helping Lorraine." "We don't need her pity," Mom spat. I left, food untouched, shaking in my car. Rachel held me that night as I sobbed, promising to stand up next time. Dad's 61st birthday was a sunny May Saturday. I arrived with an overnight bag and a leather-bound journal engraved with his initials, something he'd admired at a bookstore. Mom greeted me coolly, eyeing my sundress. "That color washes you out." I'd planned dinner at Angus Barn, but Mom insisted on her roast chicken at home, the dining room heavy with her polished silver. Conversation dragged, Dad quiet, Mom critical. When I gave Dad the journal, his eyes lit up. "Emily, this is perfect," he said, tracing the leather. Mom's lips tightened. "How much did that cost? Must be nice to throw money around." Dad drank 5 glasses of wine, his silence louder than her words. The next morning I made coffee, the kitchen warm with its aroma. Voices drifted from the study. "We're drowning, Lorraine," Dad said. "Credit cards are maxed, taxes due." "Don't tell Emily," Mom hissed. "She'll lord it over us." "She'd help," Dad said. "She always does." "I won't be her charity case," Mom snapped. My heart pounded. They didn't know I'd already saved them. Over breakfast, I tried. "I overheard you guys. I can help with a budget, maybe refinance the house." Mom's face reddened. "Eavesdropping? You think we're failures?" "No, I'm a financial advisor. I can help." Her voice turned venomous. "Little Miss Perfect swooping in to fix us. You've had everything easy." "Easy?" I snapped. "I've worked since I was 15, paid off loans, built a career you belittle." Dad stared at his mug. "Lorraine, calm down," he mumbled. "No," Mom shouted. "She judges us." "I'm done," I said, trembling. "You attack, Dad enables, and I'm your punching bag. I've paid your mortgage for 4 years, $2,500 a month. I'm done." Silence. Dad paled. Mom's jaw dropped. "Lies," she whispered. "Get out. Never come back." Dad's eyes pleaded, but he said nothing. "Okay," I said, packing mechanically. I closed the front door softly, the house's azaleas blurring as I drove away. The 45-minute drive to my Raleigh apartment was numb. I sat in my parked car, the hum of cicadas outside, until Rachel's text, "How's the birthday?" broke through. I called, voice steady until I reached Mom's words. Tears came, raw and heavy. Rachel arrived with pizza and wine, sitting with me in my car. "Food hugs, then we plan," she said, her warmth a lifeline. I stayed at her place that night, too raw to be alone. Monday, I dragged through work, my client's smile a mask. Dad called daily, his voicemails vague. "We need to talk, Emily." No word from Mom. After 12 days, I met my colleague Sarah, a financial advisor. "You've paid $120,000 over 4 years," she calculated, stunned. "It's their mortgage, not yours. Stop now." I canceled the payments, heart racing. With $2,500 freed monthly, I toured condos, settling on a one-bedroom in a historic Raleigh mill. Its brick walls and skylight my sanctuary. I signed the lease, hands trembling, picturing a life where no one could exile me. Dr. Patel helped me unpack the trauma. "Your mother's narcissism thrives on control," he said. "Your payments enabled their denial." "Was I wrong to help?" I asked. "Your love wasn't wrong, but secrecy delayed their reckoning." Guilt hit when I imagined their house lost, but Dr. Patel's words stuck. They're adults with choices. I painted my condo corral, hung Grandma Rose's floral sketches, adopted a tabby named Daisy. Panic attacks eased. I slept through the night. 4 weeks later, Dad called while I arranged roses in my kitchen. "The bank sent a foreclosure notice," he said, voice small. "Did you really pay our mortgage?" $120,000 over 4 years, I confirmed. I stopped when Mom threw me out. "Why didn't you tell us?" he asked, pained. Mom would have twisted it into shame. He admitted lying about consulting to hide his low-paying job. "There's no shame in honest work, Dad, but you and Mom need to face reality." "She won't sell," he said. "Then you both need jobs or a smaller home. I can't keep saving you." I met Dad alone at the coffee mill, its espresso scent grounding me. Dr. Patel had prepped me, clear boundaries, no guilt. Dad looked worn, no watch on his wrist. "I'm sorry, Emily," he said, "for not protecting you, for taking your money blindly." His honesty disarmed me. "I saw the bank records. You carried us." "I wanted to help," I said, "but I'm done enabling." He nodded. "Your mother didn't believe it at first. She cried when I showed her." "Did she say anything about me?" "She's ashamed," he said, struggling to admit she was wrong. "Her shame doesn't fix my pain," I said. He winced. "I asked her to come today, to apologize." My stomach dropped as Mom entered, her usual polish gone, hair in a messy bun, no makeup. "Emily," she said softly, sitting cautiously, "I didn't know about the payments." "Would it have changed how you treated me?" I asked. She hesitated. "I hope so." "You're selling the house?" I asked. Dad nodded. "And Mom's interviewing for an admin job." "I was jealous," Mom admitted, voice breaking. "You built a life I gave up. I took it out on you." Her words stunned. "I appreciate that," I said. "But I won't be your target anymore. No more payments, no more criticism. I need space." "We'll try therapy," Dad said. Mom nodded. "I'll text before calling," she promised. We parted without hugs, but with a fragile hope. 6 months later, my condo bloomed with color. Lavender walls, rose-filled vases. Daisy purred on my lap. At work, I led a new investment team, my creativity soaring. Dad found a logistics coordinator role, happier despite less pay. Mom's admin job at a law firm sparked confidence. She was studying for a paralegal certificate. They sold the Colonial, buying a modest condo, debt-free. Mom started therapy, her calls apologetic, raw. "I saw you and a client's daughter," she said once. "I broke your trust." I forgave slowly, guided by Dr. Patel. Monthly visits replaced tense dinners. We laughed over coffee, rebuilding. Rachel and I hosted game nights, my new boyfriend, Owen, a florist, joining us, his respect for my boundaries a gift. I reopened Petals by Rose, its shelves bright with blooms, my designs in demand. Mom visited once, admiring a bouquet. "You're like Rose," she said, a rare pride in her eyes. Boundaries didn't break us, they freed us. Mom found purpose, Dad his spark, and I my peace, rooted in a shop where love and courage blossomed.